I think 25 years now, 26 years, yeah. And I started as a young engineering student in what was called our noise and vibration lab. And so I worked on valve train noise for V6 engines. So if you think about stiffness of individual components of a valve train, like the individual stiffness of a rocker arm, the friction within how the rocker arm moves, the spring rates, all that stuff that contributes to noise from the result of friction and force.
Right.
And so that's where I started.
Wow.
And so I loved it, absolutely loved it. Spent some time there. Went back and got a master's degree in business after I did that, and then came back and launched body shops, programmed robots, and put new technology into an assembly plant that actually we're going to put our new Avio in, which is in Lake Orion, up I-75, yeah. So I programmed our first laser-guided MIG welding on our 8.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
cool. And then we put in the first hydroform tubes that reduced the size of an A pillar because it was all hydroformed, and then we could change the section of that. Right. And then we put our first hemmed roofed on those cars, which was glued on as the car went through our ELPA, which is our phosphate for rust proofing.
Right.
And then removed the screws, cured the adhesive, came back up out of it, and we didn't have to put any moldings in it. It was a very elegant ditch.
Which car was this?
It was on the Riviera and the Aurora back then in '95. Remember those cars? They were just a very elegant ditch, so there's a lot of artwork in that, and it was a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Hi, Adam.
You threatened to kill me one time.
Oh, did I say that I had to? You're the guy that I said I'd tell
You're
you
the
that,
guy I threatened
and
to
then you
kill.
said, oh, he's
Yeah.
threatening the black limos after.
You are such a hero, and it's so funny, right? I first saw you when you were introducing the 3.0 CD. In Holden.
Okay.
I was the first non-Holden source to tweet about the 3.0
Really?
CD.
Wow.
And my favorite, we have a hashtag for you on Twitter. I don't know if you know. It's Royce Rocks. And that started for 3.0 CD because some journalist asked you I don't know whether the question was innocuous or whether it was smart aleck, but you said, bring me that head over there. You picked up the head to the engine. You came and you started explaining the ports to the journalist.
Yeah.
Can you bring
I
that
remember
power?
doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
I cut my fingers because the head had a knife edge where the interface of the intake to the actual dome of the cylinder is very sharp.
What question did he ask?
He asked, can you really explain what, it was an honest question, what does direct injection really mean? And I said, well, I could sit here and tell you what it is, but, I'd rather show you because, it's...
Because I see all of a sudden you're talking about laser-guided MIG welding, and you're talking about hydroforming an A-pillar. You're very hands-on, very gestured. Is it healthy to bring engineers to the top, do you think, in GM? And
I'm probably not the right guy to ask that. Ask me
Sure.
that in a couple of years, and then
Yeah.
maybe we can answer it. But I think we're not making candy or Fritos here. We're making something that's very sophisticated. It takes a lot of people to do it. A lot of good people with really sharp minds, so I think a lot of that knowledge on how to do it. I think you have to go do a little bit of that, and so that knowledge to be able to run it. Will help me, but there's people that are probably really, really good at things that I'm not, which we need those people too. And so, our new CFO, I'm really looking forward to meeting him because, he comes from a very progressive industry. He comes from a great company that is not automotive, and so if you get that kind of diversity in the company, then I think it can really be healthy. I'm really looking forward to that. It's not. I don't ever look at this as one or the other. My mind. This is not. We don't sell to one type of person. Hopefully.
Sure. Right.
So we shouldn't probably develop an engineer for one type of person either. So that's.
May I ask just one more question?
Yeah.
I'll cede the floor to them for the
Sure.
for the duration. During that same web chat where you threatened my life, which I took in good humor.
Yeah,
It was
good,
only an
good. I hope
angering,
you
by
did.
the way. You mentioned, somebody asked about the 3.0 CD and its efficiency, and you said, well, in some powertrains, it's just not getting, in the North American implementation, it's just not getting the efficiencies that you got in Australia.
Actually, what I said was...
You said, I can't wait to get my hands on it. You said, so will you be taking an active engineering role?
Well, actually what I said was it wasn't that we weren't getting the efficiency so much as it was hard to calibrate for pleasability. Okay, and so we can calibrate it and get the efficiency out of it. We've done it on lots of platforms, but to calibrate it and get a really good driving car and efficiency out of it, I think there's, once you're able to do it on one car, it's silly not to be able to take the software and start and use that as the new basis for lots of other different cars. And so that's what we're doing. There's
no doubt in my mind that the teams will take care of that, but you said, I can't wait to get my hands on these. I want to work on it. Will you be taking an active engineering role?
I usually do. I usually go out every Friday that we have a ride, and we drive for 4 hours, either products that are getting ready to be launched or cars that are in the process of being developed, or. So every Friday where it's not like, really bad snowstorm or a really ugly day, where it becomes useless, I'll be on a ride with all of our engineers, just like I always am. Yeah. So.
They have more important questions, but I'm a fan.
No, that's good. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Royce rocks, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it.
So what's your official title now for everybody that doesn't?
Oh, my company, my title in the company?
Yes.
It is President of GM North America.
And you came from where?
Obviously
engineer background.
Yeah, absolutely. Up through product development, I actually worked in plants for probably 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Product development, ride and handling, integration, noise and vibration, releasing of parts and components. Ran that for North America for a few years. Ran design staff engineering. So in other words, when you go see a car that's really beautiful out here, there's criteria that we have to integrate with what the design in math looks like in an alias math set of files for a panel, for instance. We have to have forming capability to do the panel. And so the integration of that criteria into the panel to be able to form it is called, engineering design. And so I ran that for a little